All right, welcome back. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Sports Desk Live. I'm your man's, I'm your guy. One more time, Dedrick L, Hicks Jr. And I have nothing to cheer for in my football world. So thank God the NBA is back.
And it's your man Black once again for another episode. D, I'm excited to be back, man. You already know what it is. Let's get into it.
Absolutely, man. So we got some round the world topics. That's what we call them when we're preparing for the show. Kind of switching up the tone of the show, talking about, well, you got all four major sports going on at one time. So it's just a lot to discuss, but we're also going to get into some game picks as well. So, let's go ahead and get started. A lot to discuss. Let's go ahead and start off with the National Basketball Association. In Black, you know this about me and maybe some people who've, watched us over the years or listened to us over the years. I love the NBA. I love it. It's the sport for me that I'm literally tapped in every single night. So very excited that the season is off and running. So a lot of storylines. It's really weird to see Klay Thompson in the Dallas Mavericks uniform. The last second trade of Karl Anthony Towns going to the Knicks with Julius Randle going out to the T-Wolves in a swap. Brand new head coaches like JJ Redick in the league, and just so many things going on in the NBA in the first week. But I'm gonna kick it off here, man. We're gonna talk about a player or a team that has stood out, and of course, I gotta go home. I got to go straight to the crib. I got to go out to Los Angeles, man. The Los Angeles Lakers, even though they had that first loss the other night up against the Sun, a really great game. I stayed up and watched the whole game from top to bottom. But it's something to say about coaching. And I'm not taking a dig at no other coach that has come before JJ Redick. That's not what this is about. But you can really see what ball movement and players moving into pockets on the floor to get quality shooting and a different pace to the game that's going to allow you to not only stay in the game, but compete throughout the game. And the Lakers, JJ Redick, and I got to salute to Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr. He is looking like what we've been waiting for. He looks bigger. He looks stronger. He looks like he is all the way dialed in. The Lakers are only going to go as far as, I'm going to say this, Anthony Davis takes them. LeBron is LeBron. I'm not even going to get into LeBron because this is about AD. This is about JJ Redick and how JJ Redick is really putting in his game plan for Anthony Davis. I'm super excited to see what the Lakers can do. This style of play with the roster that the Lakers have in place, you are talking about a legit run at an NBA championship this year. That's how I feel about it. Black, what about you, man? What are you seeing around the league? Who, what, or do you want to add on to the Lakers talk?
Yeah, man, I'm excited about the Lakers, D. Like, it's amazing to see the Lakers running set plays, running things that work. They wasn't doing that under previous coaches. JJ Redick has literally got these guys buying into his philosophy of what he's trying to do. And I love the way that he's leaning on Anthony Davis and not LeBron. But I love how the role players are stepping up. You got to talk about Rui. Look how aggressive Rui has been. And I know it's early. These first couple of games, Rui has been very aggressive. And then you have Connect coming off the bench. He making timely buckets as a rookie off the bench. And we knew once they drafted him, D, that he was going to play a part because he's such a big time scorer. He was at Tennessee, so he fits a mold of a JJ Redick type player anyway. Come in the game, shoot, make big plays for this team. Man, I just love what the Lakers are doing, and I hope they continue to keep it up. And I agree with you, bro. They're going to be a very dangerous team. They're coming up on a big time road trip going out east. This always happens at the beginning of the season with them. They go out east on that long road trip. So we're going to be able to tell a lot about where they are on this road trip, D. But I'm excited about the Lakers, man. JJ Redick definitely has my attention, and I'm locked in on the Lakers.
Yeah, even the loss with Phoenix last night, that was a winnable game. Phoenix is a really good basketball team, and a 109-105 loss, we don't condone losing. But even in losses, you can you can get things out of losses, at least for, you know, watching the games. And what I saw was some missed opportunities from the Lakers, a couple turnovers that can be cleaned up. But I think Phoenix is going to be much better this year too. I think this is the last stop on this trip for Beal, Durant, and Booker. Brand new coach with Budenholzer. And how about them playing defense out in Phoenix? My God. Budenholzer bringing that championship defensive mentality out there to Phoenix. They're playing hard. KD is moving off screens, just not staying home. Booker is the premier defender. And he's playing well. Going back off to his Olympics, Devin Booker is a very underrated defender in this league. And just kind of watch how he was moving around on reads and connecting different players last night. Well, last night, if you're watching this, you know, in the future, we're talking about the Lakers and Suns the night before. But just very happy to see the competitive nature that was out on the floor. And there's so much that we'll get into here on the Sports That's Live. I want to, you know, talk about the Celtics and the Denver Nuggets and John Moran and his return. Just so many different. Shout out to Lonzo Ball getting back out there and being healthy. I'm praying that he can stay healthy and we can see Lonzo Ball and the OKC Thunder. How will they regroup? And
they look like good.
They do. They do. And so many storylines. I think this year, yes, the Boston Celtics are the favorite. I don't think anybody's going to go against that. The Celtics are the favorites to win it all this year, and they should be. They should be. But I will say this. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for them to achieve that, and that's what I'm so excited about. All right. So, of course, more NBA coverage coming as we, you know, move in week and week out here on the Sports Desk Live. All right. So let's go ahead and transition over until the National Football League. And man, I'd be remiss if we did not take the opportunity to show some real love, man, to Jameis Winston, man. Y'all see Jameis on the cover. Y'all see Jameis on the cover of the thumbnail of this show. And when they made the call, because at first there were some conversations, Black, of Jameis not starting. I saw that earlier in the week, and then they made the call that Jameis was going to be starting. And I said, wow, they got the Ravens. Man, I'm not really sure. They get them at home. I just didn't want to see my boy Jameis go out there and look crazy. And the reason why the affection is there is because he went to Florida State University, though that is a school that me and Black men cheering for since we were children. And to see Jameis go out there, let me read these numbers, man. Jameis Winston gets the win, number one, 29-24, 115.3 completion rating, 27-41, 334 yards passing, 3 tubs, no picks, and you can't make this up. You just can't make this up. The Ravens, the hottest team in the league outside of the Chiefs, coming into Cleveland, and Jameis was like, hey, we're just going to get this win with the beautiful speeches, the comedy, everything that comes with Jameis. I just want to salute Jameis Winston. Black, your thoughts on Jameis seeing him go out there and like real deal getting it done?
Well, I'm excited for Jameis, man, getting this opportunity again, D. It's been almost 2 years. We really hadn't seen Jameis, you know, and for him to be back in that starting role and producing for his team, that's where he belongs, man. You know, like you said, seeing him at Florida State, you know, these speeches don't get old to us. We know about the speeches from his Florida State days, you know, so it's not shocking to us. But, man, I'm excited for Jameis. I mean, he balled out, D. He went out there and just balled out. And
yes, he did.
Yes, he did. He said it. He said, what he said in the words of the white boy up the street, he said, when you get your chance, when you get your chance.
Man, that was so funny, man.
Hey, you got to take advantage of your chance, bro. That's what he doing, man. And I want to continue. I'm pretty sure James is going to be starting the rest of the season for him. And if they continue to play like this, because this is a big time win for them. They only won one game, and that was against the Jaguars before yesterday. So yeah, man, I'm excited for James. Hopefully, this could be something just like Flacco last year to help him. You know. Prevail him into getting into another contract or another situation after this season, D.
Yeah, man. Definitely want to take the time to shout out Jameis, man. And I know he's funny, and I know that, you know, he just has his quirkiness about himself. But when it comes down to him, when he's in between those lines, and he said it at the post game, he said when he's dialed in and he's taking it one play at a time and he's focused on the one play at a time, he's one of the better he's a great NFL quarterback. And I don't know if no one is going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
Think
It's
about his
something.
circumstances. It
Yeah.
took Tom Brady to leave New England on his free agent year where he was scheduled to get paid. And Tommy decided to go down to Tampa, and that's when it started for Jameis. Such an unfamiliar road for a former number one pick. But it shows you his commitment to the game. It shows you what type of teammate he is. It shows you what he loves, what he does. And I'm so glad that he's getting this opportunity. And I hope, and I really, really hope that the Cleveland Browns can rally around Jameis and go on a run. I'm really, really hoping that for Jameis, man. So we're gonna keep it locked in for sure and kind of see.
I gotta say this, bro. It was his time at Florida State, man. I could just remember, like, and I know you can't just how nervous we was as fans when he was at Florida State going to Clemson, and then seeing him pre-game, I mean before the game, saying we not leaving without a victory is like we totally calmed down when we seen this kid. Not knowing what we truly had. We knew we had a baller, but Clemson was the real test, bro. And
Yeah,
just the calm demeanor around the kid, man, and the way
special
they went
talent.
in, man, the way they went in there and dropped the 50 piece on Clemson, and we knew we didn't know how the year was gonna be, but we knew we had something special, and Heisman Trophy, national championship, like the kid just he got it.
Special
Jameis
talent.
got it, and I'm just happy, man, that he getting the opportunity again, D.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Definitely gonna be keeping it locked in here to see how it plays out with Jameis. Okay. All right, up next, man. Hey, what the hell going on with Anthony Richardson, man?
Man. D.
I'm watching um I'm watching the games on Sunday. I get home from work, turn on the TV, and this man had the nerve to say, well, let's back up. This man taps out of a game. If you're not familiar with sports and you see this is a tap out. This means you are unfit and unphysically capable of continuing an athletic event. And he did that. I'm thinking he's injured. Everybody's thinking he's injured. I mean, for God's sakes, he's injury prone. But everybody is thinking that this man is injured. Then he steps to the by God podium and has the nerve to say that I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm really tired. Oh my Lord. I could not believe, even if it was true, Anthony, you don't say that. And you know what? He was trying to be so brutally honest that it cost him his starting job.
Yeah, sometimes you can't be brutally honest in the NFL, man.
You can't be brutally honest in sports.
Yeah.
Go up there and talk to anybody who got any type of strategic mindset. Oh, are you hurt? No. But the answer is yes, they are. This is sports, Anthony Richardson. We don't care about you being honest, my brother.
No, don't.
We don't care about you wanting it, keeping it real. And apparently your head coach, your general manager, and your owner thought the same. They benched you. He committed a cardinal sin. How many people are out there playing hurt and you talking about you tied? This man's stat line of the year is absolutely egregious. Second year in the league, first year he went out after 4 games with an injury. This man has a total of 958 yards passing, averaging 159.7 a game, only 4 total touchdowns. And listen to this stat line. He has the worst quarterback rating in the last decade of any NFL quarterback with a 57.2 quarterback rating.
That's crazy.
We're talking about a man who people were talking about being the number 1 overall pick over Caleb Williams at one point during the draft. Y'all remember that, don't y'all? It was legit conversation that the Bears were having. And thank God they listened to themselves. Because this is egregious, Anthony Richardson. And the thing is, you're so talented. You're big, you're strong, you're fast. You have all of the attributes and everything it takes to be a great player in the league. But no one can teach this. No one can teach this. You can't teach this. Either you got those or you don't. It was so disappointing to see Anthony Richardson tap out of a football game and stand in front of the public and admit that he was by God tired. You get paid millions upon millions upon millions of dollars.
Oh,
and you're
wow.
tired. Unacceptable. And quite frankly, Anthony, you got what you deserved. Because you don't need to be a starter in this league. You need to be humbled. You need to sit back and watch and be grateful for the opportunity and learn how to conduct yourself. That's just my opinion. And I know you could care less if you ever see this, but it's the truth. Unacceptable. Warriors are warriors for a reason. And that's what most players are in the National Football League. And how many guys are out there? My God, Nick Chubb is out there after losing his leg 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're right, D. Yeah.
It's so many guys out there. Damar Hamlin, God knows we know what he went through.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the nerve to come off the field, tap out, and then say you're tired? I have nothing left for this. Black, what you got on Anthony Richardson tapping out?
My boy, that boy hit him with the no moss, man. No
Oh, my
moss.
God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, man. I didn't understand it. You can't be brutally honest. I understand that you out there giving your all, and you probably did need a blow, but you just don't do it that way,
No.
Then you a leader. Your offense, the entire team and entire offense is looking up to you.
Yes, everyone.
And that was around the time where y'all had potentially a chance to come back and win the game or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, D. At the point in time when he asked to come out, but it's wild. It's wild that he did that to his team at that point in time.
Yeah,
but
man.
Now to see him getting benched, you're like, man, looking at Anthony Richardson coming out of Florida, D. We was like, okay, you're putting him with an offensive minded coach, it may be good for him, but it hasn't worked out. And I don't want to say I don't want to call him a bust right now because the kid still has time.
Yeah, it's early.
But man, listening to them numbers and he is not playing good football.
No,
he's not playing a good brand of football
and missing games.
And now because you were an honest kid and you wanted to be honest, now you got to sit on the bench and watch your backup, watch Joe Flacco try to go out there and get stuff done when Joe Flacco was already looking good in your absence you wasn't there.
He was.
So hopefully this will be a learning lesson for him, D. He'll learn from it. And, I believe Anthony Richardson at some point, hopefully they can figure things out with them, how they can put him in best positions for him to be successful as a quarterback.
I hope you're right, Black. I sure hope you're right, man. But let's move along to somebody who is bowling. My God. I was scared to death the night of the draft. It's like I'm about to tell a story. Towards the nights before the NFL draft, and all was not quiet in my house. All the creatures were stirring, including the mouse. And then the Washington Commanders walked up to the podium. And my life flashed before my eyes because I knew that Jaden Daniels was a problem. And he was coming to my division. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. Black, the Commanders have them won. And I'm not even talking about the Hail Mary at the end of the game. This kid is so poised, so relaxed, so involved, and literally being overwhelmingly responsible for helping change the culture with the Commanders. Salute to Dan Quinn, all of the front office personnel. Shout out to Cliff, who is going to be a head coach somewhere next year based on what's going on in Washington if he chooses to. Jaden Daniels is a baller, former Heisman Trophy winner, top 5 pick in the draft, and this kid is looking like not only the Rookie of the Year, but Black, am I wrong for saying that he should be in consideration for the MVP of this league? Am I wrong for that?
No, the kid balling. The kid balling. I know he had to be like, I don't know how he felt about his situation, D, going to Washington. But if I was him and I seen that Cliff Kingsbury was my offensive coordinator, I'm going to grab my Ray-Bans. Let's go to work. I'm going to throw the Ray-Bans on just like Cliffy Cliff.
Yeah.
a great offensive mind. You just left LSU with a great offensive mind as your head coach, and
Yeah,
now your offensive coordinator is a quarterback guru.
amazing.
Whatever quarterback he get there, they do well. Kyler Murray's first year balled out.
He
If it
did.
wasn't for injuries, who know what Kyler Murray would have been doing right now?
Yeah,
And to see Cliff Kingsbury be able to do that in college and now come to the pros and do this D. Washington look unstoppable, man. The offense, it looks unstoppable. They running the ball at a great clip. Like it's nothing that you want to stop the run. Okay, we're gonna throw the ball down the field.
incredible.
And I know Terry McLaurin have to be like, finally, thank you. Like, I finally got a quarterback here that's going to be able to push the ball down the field and do the
Yeah,
things he need to be doing to make this offense go. And man, Dan Quinn, we seen it before. When he was in Atlanta, he had the 49ers
Shanahan,
coach as the OC. He had
Shanahan,
Shanahan, and now he got Cliffy Cliff. Bro, we see
perfect
it.
match.
Yeah,
Perfect
Dan
match.
Quinn know how to go out and get the right offensive guy. He know how to go out and get the right offensive guy and be like, you take the keys to this, make the offense what it needs to be. I'm gonna worry about this defense.
Yeah,
And even on the defensive side of the ball, they playing better under Dan Quinn.
they are. They are. Some numbers from Jaden Daniels right now: 1,736 yards passing, 217 per game, 7 touchdowns. QBR rate one of the top in the league, 104.4. I mean, this kid is tremendous, man. And the poise of that Hail Mary at the end of the game with the Bears, which was the best game of the weekend.
It
Bears and
was.
Commanders was the best game of the weekend. And Jaden was just kind of just moving around at a decent pace, following behind his line. He didn't get erratic, and I'm looking at him. I said, "Why is he moving so smooth for?" Well, I saw why, because he was able to get his footing and launch that thing in the perfect spot. For granted, Chicago tried to bat it down. Definitely took a little bit of luck, but to see how it all went down just lets you know what kind of season the Commanders are going to have. If they stay healthy, you're talking about the number 1 seed in the NFC. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about potentially the number 1 seed in the NFC. And that would be something to see. And I'm scared to death because my Cowboys haven't played them yet. And Lord knows we all over the place and it ain't looking good. And by the time we see the Commanders and our old defensive coordinator Dan Quinn and this up and coming superstar and Jaden Daniels, they might put us off in the pasture. They might put us off in the pasture, and I'm not looking forward to it. But I will say this: I'm a fan of the kid. I am. I just like how he goes about his business. I like how he handles himself. He speaks very well, very intelligent, and just like he's in the position to run a team. That's something to be said for a young kid. And Jaden Daniels, it won't surprise me if he's not only your rookie of the year. It won't surprise me if he's also your MVP. The first rookie MVP since Jim Brown did it back in the day. It wouldn't be surprising if he did it, man. So shout out to Jaden Daniels and everything that's going on with the Washington Commanders. Some sad news to report. Stephon Diggs for the Buffalo Bills. For the Houston Texans, out for the season. Freaky play that happened on Sunday. That's a tough blow.
A non-contact injury too.
Yeah, and those are the worst.
Yeah.
Those are the worst injuries. So just definitely want to send out some love for Diggs. It's going to be interesting to see how CJ Stroud and they have weapons. But look, this is an all-pro receiver. This is an all-pro receivers with a tons of experience. And I'm sure his presence was definitely felt and needed in the Houston Texans locker room. And he's going to be missed as he goes through and starts his rehab. Contract year for Diggs too. So this sucks. He's going to be looked at as an older player and things like that. And that's just the nature of the game. But definitely want to send some love out to Stephon Diggs as he's on the road to recover. I think he has surgery scheduled for tomorrow once the swelling goes down in that knee. So definitely want to holler at Diggs.
Did they say it was the ACL and the MCL or just the ACL?
Just ACL.
Okay.
And then with the technology these days, some of these guys are coming back from injury crazy. So hopefully Diggs has that same type of fortune to come back quicker and better than ever. That'd be great to see. One of the prominent receivers in this league for a long time, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so Black, who's more disappointing to you? Is it my Dallas Cowboys or is it the New York Football Jets? Who is the more disappointing team for you this season?
I gotta go Jets. I gotta go Jets D because they literally gambled it all on Aaron Rodgers. You know, they felt like the quarterback position is what they was missing to get them over the top, man, and it has not paid off.
No.
They gave up a king's ransom to get Aaron Rodgers to New York,
Yep.
and it hasn't panned out. They fired their head football coach just to go turn around and get Devontae Adams. It hasn't worked out.
Right.
So it got to be very disappointing for this New York Giants team. If I'm on, I'm like, well, I can't catch a break. What do I need to do? In my opinion, D, you may not agree with me, but I think you started over. Started over. Started over because Aaron Rodgers not getting no young. He's not a young pup. He ain't a
Right.
young pup.
Right.
You got Devontae Adams there, and I'm pretty sure if Aaron don't stick around, he definitely ain't gonna stick around. He's not gonna want to be there. I'm like, man, like, it sucks that the Giants year after year can never put it together to put themselves in contention to play for something.
It's like they're
Once again, Aaron Rodgers has looked really bad this year, D. His decision making has looked bad. He's throwing picks, D. And you can tell I don't feel like he's 100% out there anyway. He playing with something. Something's going on with Aaron, but man, they just don't have great coaching right now. The guy who's took over his head coach, he looked like he'd be lost when they put the camera on him on the sideline, D. He don't know what's going on.
right. I
And then
think
they
what
demote the offensive coordinator. I didn't even know Nathaniel Hackett got demoted. I was like,
yeah,
oh wow.
yeah, he got demoted. Yep.
Oh, I just it has to be the Jets, bro, because everything that they've put in the basket went all in has not panned out for them at all, D.
Well, here's the thing. Aaron didn't have a bad game in the loss against New England. 17 for 28, 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, quarterback rating of 111, but it's everything else. They weren't able to run the ball against New England. Timely play calling was just not at its best. Some questionable third down calls there to try to get some first downs. And Aaron, in the most opportune times, he's overthrown receivers. He's overthrown them. Him and Devontae Adams, I mean, you'd think they would have a bit better rapport, but they haven't played with each other in 6 years? Or 5 years? Like, it's been a minute. Or 4 years, it's been a minute. So you don't jump back into it. There's miscues all over the place with this offense. So when you look at Aaron's numbers on Sunday, you should say to yourself, well, they should have won this game. But their defense is giving up 25 points to one of the worst teams in football. That's the issue. So when you lose Robert Saleh, when you fire him, your defense went with it. They got the players, the Williams boys, Sauce Gardner, they got the players out there. But the scheming and the play calling is not there. It's not there. The coaching, the ownership, everything involved is hit and miss right now for these guys. Now, it's a young season. They're sitting at 2-5. I believe that's the record, or 2-6. Could they get themselves together and get on a run? Sure. There's plenty of ball left. Could they get one of those last wild card spots? Sure, because they're not going to win a division. I mean, my God. Who's seen the Buffalo Bills take off and run like they run it? Shout out to Josh Allen and everything that Coach McDermott and of course, the acquisition of Amari Cooper. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills. But the Jets, they can kiss that AFC East championship goodbye.
Yeah.
Now they got to focus on the playoff spot. And that's the wild card. So it is disappointing to see. I think last year would have been the year for the Jets if Rodgers didn't go down. But now you're dealing with an older Rodgers, and he's clearly beat up. That offensive line is terrible. That offensive line, every time you see Aaron, if it's anything further than a 3-step drop, he's getting tackled. He's getting sacked. He's getting hit bad.
And they invested in it. They invested in it in the offseason.
Yeah, it's just not looking great. So, of course, I'm going to deflect from my Cowboys. Of course. Yes, I'm going to deflect. Because we should have beat the 49ers. We should have beat them. That was our game to win. Then, of course, same old stuff, different day for my Cowboys. I feel a little bit better about my Cowboys getting a playoff spot with the wild card than I do the Jets even making the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. Cowboys got the Falcons coming up in Atlanta. Oh boy, let's just kind of see how that goes down between the two quarterbacks whose careers mimic each other. That's Dak and that's Kurt. So we'll see what goes on. But my answer is with Black. The New York Jets, you just would think they would be a little bit better, especially with acquiring Devontae Adams. But when you lose your head coach and you demote your offensive coordinator, which is the thing, Hackett has a reputation of not being that guy anyway, this is what you get. So next up for them, short week, Thursday night in Houston against the Texans. I'm going to be glued to that game. A lot of storylines there.
Game.
A lot of storylines there. And the Jets have to win. Yep. It's a must win for the Jets on Thursday night. We'll see what happens. All right, let's move over to college football. Black, the playoff is starting to kind of shape up a bit. We've had some big time games and loving it. I know you're loving it. I'm loving it. Everyone who's watching is loving all these fantastic matchups. We have more this week that we're going to get into in just a second. But Black, is there a real legitimate chance that your playoff bracket could see the Colorado Buffaloes and the Indiana Hoosiers vying for a national championship?
Yeah, that's a good chance. The Indiana Hoosiers are undefeated.
Wow.
The Colorado Buffaloes are a really good team this year. Deion has those guys playing good football. And you know one thing I noticed about the Colorado Buffaloes this year?
What's that?
They got great coaching staff this year. They got good coaching. Position coaches are really good this year, holding those kids accountable. Just not going out there. I believe Deion is doing an awesome job this year with Colorado. Man, Travis Hunter, Shador, that offense looks good. I'm so impressed by the defense. The defense been playing well.
Yeah,
they've been playing well. Man, I could see it. I wouldn't be opposed to it because what you say college football is now money, the faces. Who you want of those people who gonna bring money, and Deion definitely one of them if you put him in the playoff.
Yeah.
Indiana, we don't know much about, but we know that their offense is really, really exciting.
It's good.
I don't know much about their head coach, but I know they can run and throw up and down the field.
Facts.
That's what I'm seeing. We like excitement. Put Indiana in there to see what they can do.
Yeah, I think I think the opportunity for this to happen is legit. I want to read off Indiana's schedule here. All right. Mm-hmm. This coming, they got a bye week this week. They got a bye week this week coming up, so they're off. But after that, November 2nd at Michigan State, winnable. The following week, they get Michigan at home. Michigan at home, winnable game. The only remaining legit test that will be remaining for the Hoosiers to get to the Big Ten championship game is a date at Ohio State on November 23rd. That is the game. They could go into Ohio State undefeated, top 10 team, and sit in the top of the Big Ten. That is the game. November 23rd at Ohio State. If they somehow, some way, because Indiana could lose this game and still make the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, they'll get at large. They could get at large, right?
They could get into the Big Ten championship game. But here's the thing: the Big Ten is stacked. You got the leading conference winner right now, which is Indiana at the number 1 spot, Penn State at 7-0, Oregon at 8-0, and the Buckeyes at 6-1, with Illinois followed behind them at 6-2. This is going to be a rat race to get to the Big Ten championship game. So it's very interesting to see how this is going to play out. And I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say don't be surprised if the Indiana Hoosiers are at an at-large bid, or dare I say your Big Ten champion in the college football playoff. And of course, I think Prime and Colorado are vying for opportunity, but they have a little bit more hard of a road here. And let's look up Colorado and their schedule as they finish out the year. And like I said, a bit more hard of a road for the Buffs. So here we go. They are sitting at 7-2. Hold on one second. Yeah, they are sitting at 6-2, excuse me. But here comes some games for the Colorado Buffaloes. They got at Texas Tech this Saturday, very winnable game. Then they have Utah coming into town, very winnable game. Then they have at Kansas, very winnable game. And then they finish off against Oklahoma State. Right now, Colorado is tied for third with the tiebreaker going to Kansas State. They need some moving and shaking from an undefeated Iowa State, which is wild, and an undefeated BYU. They need some moving and shaking with those two teams to get into the Big 12 championship game. So I think the climb is going to be a little bit difficult for them, but I think Colorado has a great shot to win their remaining games. Hope for some madness to take place and get into the Big 12 championship game. That's what I think. I think that is a legitimate thing that could definitely take place there. So definitely keep our eyes on how that transpires with the Hoosiers and the Buffs. All right, we're going to get into some game predictions here before we close out the show. We got 3 of the top games in college football and 3 of the top games in the National Football League. Black, let's go ahead and get it started. Biggest game of the weekend, number 4 ranked Ohio State at number 3 Penn State, 12 o'clock kick on Fox. 3.5-point favorite for the Buckeyes. Black, what do we got? Can Penn State climb the hurdle, the mountain of Ohio State and keep it going, or the Buckeyes do what they do?
Well, Fox killed me with these 12 o'clock games, bro. This game supposed to be prime time Saturday night, bro. I don't understand it, but godly, 12 o'clock, Penn State versus Ohio State. It's going to be a good game. Penn State quarterbacks, he's questionable because he got hurt last week. I know he's questionable. He's going to be a game-time decision. I believe Ohio State. I feel like Ohio State needs this game after that Oregon loss. They can't lose this game, D, and still, they still can be in contention. But I believe if you lose to Penn State, who will remain undefeated,
it's gonna hurt your Big Ten.
You'll need some help. You will really need some help for that playoff. But I'm going to say Ohio State get their act together, go on the road, get a big time win at Penn State. I like the Buckeyes 27-24 to win this football game.
I'm going to roll with the Nittany Lions. This quarterback situation in Ohio State is very, very, very interesting. Will Howard is having a tough time in this Ohio State offense. Ryan Day is in a position where this is a judgment season for Ryan Day. He has missed on the last couple of years of opportunities to seize control in the Big Ten, and this is another moment for him. I just don't believe in Howard like that for Ohio State right now, even though Penn State's quarterback is questionable. I just think going into a whiteout atmosphere, which it will be during the day, over 105,000 strong in Pennsylvania for this game, I'm going to go with James Franklin. I think he's going to deliver the right chess moves to outdo Ryan Day, and I think Penn State, they get the win and they remain as one of the top teams in the Big Ten and in college football. Let's go down to the South, all right, where, in my opinion, it's an interesting game. You got the 4-3 Florida Gators taking on the number 2 ranked 6-1 Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia is a 16.5-point favorite. 3:30 kick on ABC. Black, can the Florida Gators make it interesting and at least cover the spread?
I think they got a chance to cover the spread, but they won't win this football game. I believe Georgia. I believe all the questions that we had about Georgia kind of silenced those going on the road to Texas and beating them.
Yeah.
So I know they're coming off a bye week. They're going to be pumped here in Jacksonville. You know, Jacksonville going to be rocking, half red, half orange in that stadium. So it's going to be a very entertaining game. Florida has been playing a good brand of football the past few games. So
yeah,
it could be something here, D. But I believe they could cover that spread, but they won't win the football game. I like Georgia to win this. I'm gonna go 31-27. When Georgia wins this football game. I believe it's close. I believe it's going to be a close one because Florida's been playing better defense and offense has been looking good too. And then the young freshman, he a gunslinger, so I expect him to make some plays on that secondary against Georgia.
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting in the first half. I think it gets starts to get away from Florida in the second half. I've always had questions about the Georgia offense. The running game came to life against Texas, coming off a bye week. They're going to be healthy. They're going to be rested. They're going to be ready to go to continue to make their claim as the number one team in this country. I think Florida's showing a lot of fight, a lot of grit. I got to give some love to Billy Napier. I mean, when everybody was kicking him out the door, he been able to try to keep this thing together. And these kids have been fighting and they've been playing really, really hard. I don't know if Billy Napier is going to be the head coach of the Florida Gators next year. I'm not sure about that. But I am sure that these kids are going to come to fight and they're going to come to play hard. DJ Lagway, like Black said, is a gunslinger. I think this game will be a little bit close until we get to the fourth quarter. But I got Georgia winning this game 35-20. But I think Florida does. I think Georgia does not cover the spread of 16.5. That's 15 points for those who don't know. But I think it's just going to be one of those games that Georgia just kind of pulls away late. Florida fight, they scratch and they claw, but they just don't have enough to beat the Dogs, in my opinion. They don't have enough. All right, let's go on to the Big House. One game that was circled on the calendar, even though Michigan has been scratching and clawing, definitely to try to find some offense, let alone some key victories this year. But you got the number one ranked Oregon Ducks at 8-0. They head to the Big House for the first time. 3:30 kick on CBS. 15-point favorite are the Ducks. Woo! Going into the Big House. Black, is there some potential for an upset here with the Wolverines knocking off Dylan Gabriel and the Ducks off that number one spot?
Well, when you go to the Big House, man, that's 100,000 plus in there. It's always a potential, but you just don't know what Michigan quarterback gonna show up.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I like Oregon to win this game. I don't think they cover D, but I like them to win this game. I'm going to go. They win this game 35-24, 35-24. But they don't cover. They don't cover the spread. I believe Michigan will run the ball pretty well to try to keep them in the game, but that quarterback play is not good this season, and they're gonna have to figure out what's going to happen at that position. But when you don't have good quarterback play, it's going to be hard to beat good elite teams. So I like Oregon in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, it's kind of like you read my brain. I just don't see where the offense is going to come from Michigan except running the football. But Oregon tends to walk into certain situations on the road, make games a little bit more interesting than they have to. And if Michigan can control the clock, if Michigan can convert on third down and keep that Oregon offense on the sideline, I think this game could get a little bit more interesting than what Oregon fans want. So I'm going to say that they don't cover the spread. I think Oregon wins, but I'm going to go along the lines of 31-21. I think late in the fourth quarter, Oregon kind of separates themselves like a late touchdown. I think this could be something of a 3 to 6 or 7 point game the majority of the way. But I think the Ducks just find a way to get it done. So number one, I wouldn't say they survive, but I think they squeak through a win at the Big House where it's sold out and it's over 110,000 people because there's nothing else to do in Ann Arbor on a Saturday except go to the Michigan game. And people are going to be out there for sure. All right. Let's transition over to the National Football Black. Big time game, biggest game of the weekend. The 6-1 Detroit Lions, the 6-2 Green Bay Packers. The Lions are a 3.5-point favorite on the road in Lambeau. 4:30 kick on Fox. Black, these are the two teams that we all kind of talked about at the beginning of the season. Do the Lions keep it going after an impressive win on Sunday, putting up 50-plus points on the Titans? Or do the Green Bay Packers say, you know what, we're fighting and we're scratching and we're clawing too?
This is gonna be an awesome game, and I'm going to stick to what I said when we was previewing it before the season started. I like the Detroit Lions to win this football game. Detroit Lions have looked like one of the most complete teams in the NFL, D.
Yeah.
But they haven't been talked about a whole lot, I know that they had some key losses on the defensive side at the D end, but that run game has been awesome. I mean, they've been running right behind Baltimore. They've been one of the top ground teams in the league. Jared Goff hasn't been asked to do a lot, and this is going to be a very good game. I know that Jordan Love is dealing with a groin injury. I'm pretty sure he's going to go. They say it wasn't no tear or nothing significant, so I'm sure he's going to play. But I'm going to roll with the Detroit Lions because I just love what they're doing. I love what they're doing offensively, and I love what they're doing defensively, D. But it's going to be tight. I like this game to be 31-30. I think they
Ooh.
win by 1 point. They find a way. I think it's close, D. I think it's going to come down to whichever team makes plays at the end of this game to secure that win. Give me the Lions 31-30.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got the Packers winning this. I predicted the Packers to win this division ultimately. But Detroit has definitely been on all like just fire and lock. Like they have been
Mhm.
out of control. Love their head coach Dan Campbell. But I'm just a fan of the kid Jordan Love. I'm a fan of Matt LaFleur's mind, offensive football mind. But I think it's just going to be a little bit too overwhelming with Jordan Love with his groin. No structural damage with the groin. But I just think that Detroit seems like they're on another level. So I'm going to say they split. I think Green Bay gets them back at Detroit. I think it's going to be one of those scenarios. But given the lines here, close game, I'm going to go a little bit lower scoring. I'm going to go 23-20 in this game. I think these divisional games, these coaches, they know each other. These players, they know each other. There's going to be some things that you're just not going to see when they're facing a cross-conference rival or something like that. So Packers and Lions going to put on the show. I think we're going to get some good football here, but I think the Lions edge out a win in Lambeau. They don't cover the 3.5. I think they get a last-second field goal to win the game 23-20. All right. Up next, Black, do my Cowboys get back on track, or do the Falcons restate their claim as one of the teams to be reckoned with in the AFC South? In the NFC South, excuse me.
Man, I would love to pick the Cowboys because I want to see the Cowboys win. I do really want to see them get on track and win the game. But D, they need some help. D, you can't. They need some help. D, like in my opinion, and I know we just predict the score just real quick. For me, like they supposed to have been the team that traded for Deontay Johnson to get some help out there with CD, not the Baltimore Ravens. But back to predicting this game, I would love to see the Cowboys win, but they won't because Kirk Cousins is playing good football. Kirk, you just heard Kirk the couple weeks ago say when you're on the road, you walk in your trap, take over your trap. Like Kirk playing some good football.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk is tuned in.
Yeah.
And for them to beat Tampa twice this year already, lead the division. This was my surprise team when we was previewing the NFL.
Same.
Kirk Cousins, he's done it at all his stops, played good football. It just the thing about Kirk has always been the playoffs. What is he going to do? But every stop, he's always played well in the regular season if he wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick Atlanta to win this game. I believe it's going to be close, D. I'm going to go 27-23. The Atlanta Falcons get the win over the Cowboys.
I'm going to take my Cowboys on a hope and a wish and a prayer. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my Cowboys on a hope and a wish and a prayer. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be one of those games again. Close. Fourth quarter game. What are we going to do? And you're right. I was so disgusted to see Deontay Johnson end up in Baltimore. Like, were we not on the phone today?
Yeah, you're supposed to be on the phone.
Are we not on the phone? Were we not aware that he was available for trade? Like, what is it?
Yeah,
like
I don't have a stat. Yeah.
CD's giving it everything he has in double coverage every week.
But he had 18 targets, D, in that game.
Yeah, man.
Against the
I'm so disturbed by Jerry and Steven. I'm just disturbed. We're like, what are y'all doing?
I don't know.
Do y'all really think this roster is good enough to win a Super Bowl? You can't think that. You can't think that. You feel like you paid Dak and Dak should be able to get it done on his. That's not how football works.
It's not.
Did you see DeAndre Hopkins go to the Chiefs? Did you see Devontae Adams go to the Jets? Teams are in play. Did you see the Bills get Amari Cooper? I mean, my God.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to stick with them because I have no choice. I'm going to go Cowboys 23, Atlanta 22. That's all. And I don't feel good about it. The spread of this game is sitting at 2.5, almost a pick'em game.
It's in Dallas, right?
No, it's in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Because we don't win at home, so I'm glad it's on the road. We don't win at home. So all the Cowboys fans in the South will be in Atlanta in the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Well, they supposed to be getting Bland and Parsons back, right?
Parsons and Bland are supposed to be looking good to play. No DeMarcus Lawrence
Okay.
still.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm going to take the Cowboys 23-22 over the Atlanta Falcons. All right, last game that we're going to be picking. Beautiful Monday night game, 8:15 ESPN. You got the 4-4 Tampa Bay Bucks at the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 7-0, who are 8.5-point favorite at home. Interesting line there. Black, would the Bucks go in and hand the Chiefs their first loss?
They won't. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle. We seen it against Atlanta.
Yeah.
They won't be able to beat the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs cover the 8.5.
Yeah.
I think they cover it. I believe the Chiefs win this. I'm going to go 28-20. I believe they win this football game. I believe DeAndre Hopkins has his best game, his best game with the Chiefs after playing last week. I believe he finds the end zone and have a 100-yard game against the Bucks.
Yeah, I think if Godwin and Evans was available, then we probably could have a little fun with this. But Baker's a gamer. Todd Bowles is a really great coach. The defense is kind of trying to stick together, bend, don't break. But when you lose your two biggest offensive weapons, I mean, what are you going to do? I think the Chiefs wins this game very easily. I think this game is going to be 31-17. I think the Chiefs are starting to get in the groove. I think you get DeAndre out there. You got to respect him being out there on the field. And I think him and Pat are going to get another opportunity to kind of show what they can do with him in his offense. The run game is there. Kelsey is starting to open up. And those who say that Travis Kelsey was done and he needs to retire, like, all great players go through slumps, man.
Yeah.
This is still a great player he's on the back end of his prime, but he's still a great player. And he's been with Mahomes forever. You don't think they're going to figure it out? Of course they're going to figure it out. And now he's starting to move and shake and find the end zone. And it's only going to be up for here from the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs, 8-0, pretty easy win on Monday Night Football, and they move on because this is the scary thing about the Chiefs. They weren't playing well the past few weeks.
Pat wasn't playing well.
And they were still winning. That defense is legit.
It's legit.
Pat is coming into form. Scary times for the NFL.
His numbers is the worst he's since he's been in the league, D.
And what should that make you feel? And how should that make you feel? He's still winning.
That's what I'm saying. I believe the Chiefs just treating this. They know what the goal is. The Chiefs,
of course they do.
They get through. They got a championship DNA. You don't have to lean so heavy on Patrick Mahomes anymore for this team. Andy Reid knows he has a great defense. We didn't been seeing this defense brew for the past 4 years, D, and now they're one of the best. They're the best defense in the league.
They're there
in the league. And they have and you know what's scary about it, D? It's so much turnover. They probably have the most turnover on the defensive side of the ball, and they stay elite. They stay elite.
Top defense in the league right now.
How often do we see Kansas City let top corners walk and go in free agency and go elsewhere and turn around and replace them with somebody we don't know? We like, dang, they balling too.
Yeah, they balling too.
Yeah,
yes,
man,
this Andy Reid.
Elite. I believe Pat in the second half of the season, though, he gonna turn it on because they know when the second half of the season come around, D, they know it's gonna time to turn it on so they can get to New Orleans.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I mean, you just got to keep monitoring and see where this thing goes with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just remarkable to see that they're not playing well. But Mahomes isn't playing well. They're still winning, but this defense is lights out. So we'll keep it locked, man.
Real quick, but nice chess move by Baltimore to get Deontay Johnson.
Yeah,
that's a nice chess move. They
gonna need it.
They understand. I think they understand what's happening.
They gonna need it.
What's happening?
They gonna need it because it's looking like you're gonna have to go to Kansas City this year.
Yeah,
it's looking like if you want to go to the Super Bowl and you want to and that's golly, just picture the scenario. You want to go to the Super Bowl? You want to knock off the champs? You're gonna have to go through their building to do it.
You're gonna have to go to negative degree weather to get to the Super Bowl.
You're gonna have to go to the champs building to do it.
Talk
about a tall task. Good luck to everybody that's trying. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, I'll send prayers. Good luck to y'all boys having to go in there and get that done for sure. All right. All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate y'all locking in and watching another episode of the Sports Desk Live. Definitely appreciate all the love and support. We don't take it for granted at all. Thank y'all, man, for hitting that subscribe button, checking in with us, man. We promise y'all we'll continue to ramp up the content. Thank y'all for checking out the shorts that we're putting out. And, kind of getting back to this kind of style of content with all these things going on in sports. This is what you'll be seeing from us. So look out for more content from us. Definitely appreciate all the love. So hit that subscribe button, share this channel. If some people are looking for some different spins and some different takes in the world of sports, send them to Sports Desk, man. Just some kids down here in Duval County trying to make some noise in the sports world and give our takes and have a little fun while doing it. All right. So until next time, y'all be cool. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy this upcoming weekend. Enjoy basketball, football, hockey, baseball, whatever you're into. Enjoy it. And we'll see y'all on the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Peace.